Hi everyone, my name is Victor and I'm one of the authors of Technique.com. Today we're going to continue with our course and we're going to be looking at the Linux kernel module. Now, previous video we've talked about the Linux kernel, right? So I've divided this topic, which is managing the Linux kernel, into three sections. We've looked at what a Linux kernel is in the previous video, which is the first section. We've looked at how we can rightly update the Linux kernel. We have also looked at a lot of things about the Linux kernel. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at the Linux kernel module. Alright, so a Linux kernel module is a written code that can be loaded and unloaded from the Linux kernel at runtime as demanded. So with kernel modules, the kernel functionalities can be extended without having to recompile or rebuild and reboot the kernel. So if you're used to WordPress, you can compare these kernel modules as plugins, alright? So if you need a particular functionality in the WordPress application, you can always install the particular plugin for that functionality, alright? So just compare these plugins as modules as well. So if you need a particular functionality in the kernel, you can always load the kernel module of that particular functionality, alright? So the reason is because you cannot have all functionalities in the Linux kernel. It's going to be way heavy and it's not going to make the operating system very fast. So that's why we have a kernel module. So when you need a particular functionality, you can always load that particular module into the Linux kernel. Alright. A device driver is a type of a module. So the device driver of a specific hardware drives the hardware. So a device driver can be loaded into and also be unloaded from the kernel. And with the device driver being loaded into the kernel can address the hardware of the device driver. There are lots of kernel modules, both inbuilt and non-inbuilt. But the good thing, and one of the things that makes the Linux OS light and fast, is that the modules are loaded automatically as needed with the help of the UDEV process. Alright, so we're going to look at what UDEV is. Okay, so you should also know that the command that is used to verify the loaded modules in the Linux kernel is lsmod. But before we begin to look at all of these commands, let's use this diagram to really understand what we have been saying extensively. Alright, so you can see the first diagram, which is this hardware, the hardware. This is process 1, and this is process 2, where my cursor is. You can see that a Linux OS is being installed into the hardware, which is process 2, and process 3, you can see that a USB device is being inserted into the hardware. So the idea is that when you have the hardware, which is process 1, alright, the next thing you do, of course, is to install the OS, and the OS consists of the Linux kernel. You know that without a kernel, then there is no operating system. We've ascertained that in the previous video. And the Linux kernel contains every functionalities it needs to address or work with the hardware, and one of that functionality is the UDEV process. Alright, so how does this UDEV process work? So you look at process 3, where we have the USB device being inserted into the hardware. Alright, so when the new hardware device is added into the hardware, the UDEV process is automatically initiated. It informs the kernel that a new device has been added to the hardware, hence the kernel, which contains every functionalities to address the hardware, will automatically load the new hardware kernel module that has just been added to the hardware to initialize the hardware. Alright, so prior to the new Linux systems, there's nothing like an automatic initialization of the kernel module for a new hardware. The kernel module usually requires human intervention, where you will have to load the modules manually, or with the new design of UDEV and recent Linux operating system, the kernel can now automatically detect new hardware. Alright, so let's be practical about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a USB device on the system, and you would see what's gonna happen. Okay, to list the loaded modules, you use the command lsmod. Alright, lsmod. Okay, so you can see the number of modules that are loaded with their sizes and the number of dependencies. All right. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to insert a USB card into this hardware, and we're going to monitor what's going to happen. So the command that is used to monitor or that shows the UDEV process on the kernel real time is the UDEV ADM monitor command. Alright, so this command, let me just clear the screen. Alright, so it's going to show what is happening on the kernel real time. So let's insert the USB drive and let's see what happens. Alright, so you can see the USB modules are being loaded automatically, and to confirm that for verification purposes, let me just do Ctrl+C. You can do list module. Let's grep for USB storage. Alright, so you can see the USB module being loaded. We can also do for USB. Alright, and we can also do for UAS. So you can also see UAS. So these three UAS. You can see, so these three modules are dependent on each other. And similarly, if you also remove the USB, as far as the UDEV ADM monitor command is still running, you'll be able to see what is happening on the kernel real time. Alright, so let's do that. Let's remove the USB. I'm just going to initialize the UDEV ADM monitor, and I'm going to remove the USB. Alright, you can see what is happening real time on the kernel. The USB modules is unloaded right now. Many times when a kernel module is automatically loaded, the module remains loaded for a while, even if it is not in use, until the system sees it deemed fit to unload the module, and most times till the reboot is done. So however, you can also manually unload the module if you want to. So in the next video, we're going to see how to manually load a Linux kernel module and how to manually unload the Linux kernel module. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel, and bye for now.